Hello, people that know how's it doing. Today I'm talking about, as everybody probably seen in the news, there was loads of farmers up in Dublin. And they're right, and I have to say, they're right to do it. A lot of them left very early this morning from Cavan. A lot of them left, some of them even from Cork, went up all the way to Dublin. Which is, that's mad, driving the track all the way. But, it just goes to show you how big of an issue it is and how much they're suffering. Both economically and both physically too. And this is another reason why Fine Gael was called the Farmers' Party. Back when I was younger, they were called the Farmers' Party. The majority of farmers vote Fine Gael. Um, that's obviously very bad if you have 100 farmers up in Dublin complaining about, they can't afford to live, and which is true. I know so many farmers, and honestly, what they're getting is literally, you might as well just give them pocket money, because Liam Falk might as well go and give his wage, a little bit of his wage, like 50 cents to the farmers, because, that's literally what they're getting for their beef and for anything, anything to produce. So anything at all, they nearly only get 50 cents. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is in this country. And that's how bad, Fine Gael has been treating the farmers. And they're right. And I said it to one person who I know went up to Dublin. Left at 6:30 this morning. Actually, no, 6 o'clock, sorry. Go up to Dublin. Obviously started at McDonald's and drove up to Dublin then. But good God Almighty, and he's sleeping up in Dublin tonight. He's sleeping in his tractor tonight in Dublin. So, fair play to him, because I was like to him, fat chance they're ever going to listen to the Fine Gael government, because they don't seem to listen to people anyway when they die on the street. But as he said to me, and he was right to say to me, we're the farmers, we're the ones we really started Fine Gael, and he's kind of right, because the majority of farmers, at least, nearly 99% of the farmers, I know, always voted Fine Gael, always voted for Fine Gael, and, always for Fine Gael supporters. And the other 1%, others, obviously. But, they were always Fine Gael. Farmers around Cavan were always Fine Gael, never anything else. And obviously that's starting to really, really change. There's a big, huge turn right now. It's nearly only about, good God, about only 20%. That's literally because farmers in Cavan are absolutely pissed off, and the same amount, and they're pissed off with the Fine Gael government. They're absolutely pissed off, and a lot of them are going to go and vote Fianna Fáil, which is the greatest laugh. But which I'm not going to complain about, because to be honest, make them suffer, Fine Gael. To be honest, make them suffer in any way possible. Because, my good God, the way they're treating the farmers, like, I'm sure the God they wouldn't treat themselves. Like, I don't understand. Does Leo Frank and his ministers understand this? Because, I often think that he thinks he's in charge of a coffee shop, because I don't think he knows he's in charge of a country. I think he has Alzheimer's, a bit of Alzheimer's, or something like that, because he doesn't seem to have a clue what he's doing. Like, honestly, like, he's neglecting the people who, the main supporters. The farmers are the Fine Gael's main supporters. And, he's just literally letting them suffer. Like, that's terrible. At least back in the day when I started first studying politics, back years ago, Fine Gael would have would have given them, booked the right leg to get the farmers, what they wanted. And it just seems to change in Fine Gael too. That they don't seem to care anymore about anything. They just seem to care about only back pockets. Which is very, very sad for a party, let's be honest. And it's very pitiful that we have a Taoiseach that, is leading this country down that road. Because, when Fine Gael was a government back in the 90s and back in the 80s, the farmers did still vote for them, but, they were a lot more nicer to farmers and doing different things. And obviously, and as one person said to me, and that's how I always say, we have to support the farmers, because the farmers put the food on the table. We don't put the food on the table. It's the farmers who do all the hard work, and, and they should get paid properly. The same with anything. If you do a job, you should get paid. Simple as that. If you do a job, you should get paid. And you should get paid, to your right amount, and to the best, the best amount possible for your hard effort and hard work. And obviously, the ministers and government are getting paid ridiculous sums of money for no hard work at all. And they might as well join the county council on it. Because literally the council do more, to be honest. And that looks very bad if the council does more than they do. Oh God. We get Liam Falk on the shovel yet, don't worry about that. We get him on the shovel yet. We haven't mending the roads. He can build the new bypass to Cavan shop. You can build the new bypass to Cavan. We put. How about that? That's actually a good idea. I actually have a good idea now. Do you know what we do? We say to the ministers and government, we'll vote for yous again if yous go out and work every day and every night and build the new Cavan bypass. If he's promised, like they promised it. Excuse me. The Taoiseach promised it. Let's see what he delivered. Maybe he can go out and build it. He can do a bit of shovel work with the company culture. I highly doubt they even would even attempt to even listen to anybody who said that, because you know if they can walk the walk, they do the talk. And you know it would do no harm. I suppose it'd be a bit of exercise for them too, because you know when you're sitting down in Dáil and you know your wallet holds you down a bit. To be honest. Now it's just full on giving out by politicians here. It's turned into farmers' discussion. Now it's turned into giving out by politicians' discussion. But yeah, the wallet holds you down, you know, and it's very hard to walk around with a big wallet. So maybe we give them a shovel and they'll be grand. Maybe we give them a shovel. We give them a shovel, sure. Jesus Christ, for my trial, sure. From the taxpayer, a present from the taxpayer for them to run the new Cavan bypass. If they do have to do that, like honestly, I don't know why I'm talking about this now, but if they do that, if they go out and start mending the bypass, Fianna Gael councillors and Fianna Gael ministers, that'd be fantastic. I would have a great laugh at it. I would probably go out and probably give them a bit of a hand because I would feel sorry for them. I'm just thinking of that. Oh, that'd be great fun. That would be great fun. That would be a great laugh. Make them suffer. That'd put the pen to paper to see who's worthy of being minister for whatever, a minister for this, a minister for that. Put them to the test. That's a good way of putting them to the test. Making them walk. Making them do something anyway. Anyway, thank you for watching. I don't know why this turned into what was the farmers' discussion. Now it's about giving out a politicians' discussion. But yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, absolutely huge support to the farmers, and obviously the farmers sleeping in the tractors tonight outside Leinster House and outside Dáil and too. You know, it's obviously not the best place to be sleeping in a tractor. But you know, we have to give them support, and we have to understand people in Dublin too, that you know what they're not doing this because they want to just be ignorant and just want to block every street in Dublin. They're just trying to do this. They're trying to get their word out and try and get something done. And they're not trying to block the city to just be a nuisance. And we have to I want people to understand that too. Like we have to support them. We have to support them because you know they're making nothing, and the politicians are sitting there on 96,000 a year, and you know they don't do nothing. Anyway, thank you for watching. Scott Moore. Bye.